Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2020 Pekin Community High School Commencement Ceremony. I am Principal Amy Huebner, and before we begin this evening, I would like to ask for your cooperation to ensure a very dignified and enjoyable ceremony for everyone. First, we ask that all guests remain until all names have been read and that all applause be held until all graduates have been recognized so that each and every name can be clearly heard. For the same reason, we ask that no noise makers be used. Also, please turn off your cell phones at this time. Thank you for helping the class of 2020 enjoy a dignified and memorable ceremony. It's finally here. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the presentation of the colors by the PCHS Color Guard and remain standing for the playing of the National Anthem. The Color Guard is commanded by Cadet Alexis Falco Creech. Members of the Color Guard are Cadet Lucas King, Cadet Autumn Mock, and Cadet Addison Ray. Please be seated. The PCHS Concert Choir, under the direction of Mrs. Lee Grizzard, will now perform the song Oceans and Stars. I will now ask seniors Brogan Gresham and Mary Grace Patton to come forward to give their commencement speech and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Nearly every coming-of-age movie starts the same, preparing for your first day of high school.
They all continue to the main plot point, surviving junior year, being the freaky genius girl in a brand new school, or maybe finding a way out of a dramatic love triangle.
All of our high school careers started the same way as these movies, but our storylines range much further than crazy relationship issues.
But don't get us wrong, I'm sure most of us dealt with those as well.
Our movie could be a comedy based on the freshman year Nerf war, a faux drama with the closet dust fire,
a typical high school movie where we win basketball regionals and go to state playoffs in football, or an anticlimactic indie film about the coronavirus ending our final moments together.
We have so many movies that we could create with endings we each make for ourselves. Whether you make the best of it is up to you.
Our lives are unpredictable. There will be hundreds of opportunities where we can change our endings. There will be good days and bad days that we are not in control of.
Circumstances can change at the flip of a coin. This year certainly taught us that. However, your mindset is something that you have power over. If you find the light in these situations, you will find happiness.
These past 4 years have been different for all of us. Some of us made friends that will last a lifetime, while others of us lost friends we thought would last a lifetime.
Some of us have spent our whole lives going to school in Pekin, while others of us have been here for just a year. What brings us together is that we're all here in this moment today.
We've all said good morning to Mrs. Huebner in the hallway, joked with Mr. Craig in the hallway, and sighed when Mrs. Gramlich said we had to run the pacer test in PE.
While these are the moments that we have may look over time, they are the moments that helped us get through high school.
We have all impacted each other in countless ways.
While I'm sure many of you are sad to leave your peers, we will always have these memories to remind us of each other.
Whether you're headed into the workforce, military, college, or taking a gap year, these next few years are the beginning of our adulthood.
We will start to learn who we are on our own, accumulate responsibilities, and mature as individuals.
In these past few months, we've learned who we are and what we can do on our own, like learning without a teacher in the room,
and developing the self-discipline in order to learn without a teacher in the room.
Up until now, life was all about expectations. We expected to finish the best parts of high school together. We expected to have senior send-offs, senior prom, and have graduation in May rather than July.
COVID-19 broke our expectations and offered us the first glimpse into adulthood, where we will learn that we cannot rely on our expectations.
With the abrupt ending to our senior year, we are forced to look forward to a new chapter, where we had very few expectations on what our lives would hold.
With no chance to move on or say final goodbyes, we eventually had no option but to move on. However, we are more prepared now than we would have been if there was never a nationwide pandemic.
These past 4 years have helped to prepare us for our future endeavors, and now it's our chance to use what we learned to shape our future.
We all know that life isn't a movie, and if we don't, adulthood will certainly teach us that.
However, like in the movies, today you will embark on a new journey in life right as you leave the stadium.
All of the hard work, long nights, and stressful hours of doing homework will pay off in just a few short moments.
Our challenge for you is to do everything in your power to live life to its fullest potential. Now, take a look at the person next to you.
Although you might not even recognize your neighbor, we all have one thing in common. We are a family.
And while we might not remember every moment of high school, I hope that we can all look at our neighbors and see them as some who we can smile at in the future.
Pekin High, in the wise words of Troy Bolton, is having friends we'll keep for the rest of our lives, and that means we really are all in this together.
PCHS will soon become a distant memory, and as we go into this next chapter of life,
we may forget the names of many classmates and teachers, but Pekin High will always be something that brings us together.
We are strong.
We are resilient.
We are the class of 2020.
We are dragons.
And once a dragon,
always a dragon. At this time, we would like to invite Dr. Owens to come forward to receive the senior class of 2020 gift.
The revamping of the counselor's office hallway.
Thank you, Brogan and Mary Grace. It is now my distinct honor to recognize and introduce the students who represent the top 10% of their class. Through their hard work and dedication over the last 4 years, these students have academically excelled and are to be commended for this prestigious accolade. Students will be recognized in one of 3 categories: cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. As I read the names for each category, please stand and remain standing until all names are read in that category. Audience, please hold your applause until each group category has been named. Cum laude with praise: Shane Ignacio Alcantara, Morgan Ashley Baker, Grace Lene Beasley, Bryce Robert Bresnahan, Krista Lee Carrington, Ariel Elizabeth Sue Chisholm, Jocelyn Marie Gardner, Andrew William Geyer, Natalie Rose Gibbs, Brianna Marie Golden, Carson Michael Gregory, Brogan Janelle Gresham, Dallas Allen Michael Haynes, Trey Edward Hirschenbach, Evan Andrew Pajoli, Jordan Elizabeth Pratt, Sydney Ann Sales, Justin Robert Taphorn, Remy Lane Wagman, Julianne Destiny Waldron, Hope Elizabeth Watts. Magna cum laude with great praise: Brianna Grace Elizabeth Beckham, Ryan Joseph Bonnet, Isaac Ryan Chapman, Kayla Lon Chow, Samantha Lynn Curtis, Stephen Daniel Hogue, Natalie Carol Johnson, Seth Andrew Kasinger, Mackenzie Renee Kirby, Taylor Marie Kilgus, Joshua Troy Kaiser, Lindsay Marie Lemire, Jenna Elizabeth Martin, Sydney Lynn Mayberry, Caitlin Joes Morrison, Mary Grace Patton, Gabriella Jane Rushoff, Jenna Marie Taphorn, Kimberly Anya Valentine, Haley Storm Wilson. Summa cum laude with highest praise: Austin Michael Aiden, Nicholas Clay Bergerhouse, Dawson Seth Kuhn, Melina Christine Hall, Ryan Adam Haynes, Tristan Nicole Hess, Abigail Ann Hollub, Maxwell Scott Jones, Cassie Lynette Keller, Alec Bradley Nauman, Riley Pepper Nelson, Braylon Kathleen Oberly, Allison Nicole Scally, Brooke Karen Ann Simpson, Ashley Caroline Stilling, Morgan Elizabeth Von Doren, Logan Charles West. It is now my honor to announce the student who attained the highest combined score when adding GPA and 8 semesters of grade points, giving this student the distinction of the valedictorian. The valedictorian of the class of 2020 is Morgan Elizabeth Von Doren. Please come forward to receive your medal. following students have volunteered to serve our country, and as they go forth in that service, we wish them all the best and give them our heartfelt thanks. I would also like to mention that some of these students are not present with us this evening, as they have already left Pekin to attend boot camp, so we will especially recognize those tonight. When your name is called, please stand and remain standing until all branches have been recognized. I would ask the audience, please hold all applause until all of the branches have been recognized. United States Air Force, Gabriel Kistner. United States Army, Ethan Baker, Michael Bennett, Ian Davidson, Alexis Updike, Jaron Watts, Jackson Warlow. United States Navy, Hunter Lutz, Mia McLeod, Trayton Mitchell, Paige Moon, Matthew Short, Tristan Short. United States Marines, Noah Burgess, Blaine Diachi, Dallas Haynes, Red Nance Green, Dawn Turnbow. United States Coast Guard, Cheyenne Wyrick. Air National Guard, Gavin Roker, Dirk Tharp, Caleb White. And Army National Guard, Hope Watts. Thank you to all of you for your commitment to serve this great country. Okay, now it's my turn, seniors. This long-awaited day is finally here. I almost feel as if I'm in a dream right now, as I wasn't sure this day would ever become a reality. Tonight is the night we celebrate each of you and all your accomplishments. While it's definitely not how we thought this year was going to end, I could not be more proud of how you made the best of the end of your senior year, despite all of the challenges that were put before you. Demonstrating Dragon Pride once again. 4 months ago, we were saying good morning to each other and beginning to get excited for spring break. We all know how long it is from Christmas break to spring break. We had no idea what was about to happen and how our lives would forever be changed. We went from our daily routines of going to school, going to work, going to practice, and looking for prom dresses to looking at the inside of 4 walls of our house. A lot. We went from thinking, what am I going to wear to school or work today, to having our favorite pair of sweats and most comfy sweatshirt on almost every day. Sure, just like anything new, it started as a little vacation where we enjoyed sleeping in, doing schoolwork in pajamas, and watching Netflix, a lot of Netflix. Then it quickly turned into emails, phone calls to the school asking, when are we coming back to school? We have to come back. Of course, I loved to hear that most of you wanted to be back in the halls and classrooms of PCHS. I honestly almost wanted to record those messages to use later on when we were indeed returned to our normal schedules as a little reminder of how much you wanted to be at school. But that smile on my face quickly turned into heartache when I knew we would not be coming back. I spent time feeling sad, mad, frustrated all at the same time, like I'm guessing many of you did too. Then I realized I had to make a change. Instead of dwelling on all the negatives, I decided I had to focus on the positives and the time we had been given. For me personally, it was the extra time I was able to have with my family, even if it was in close quarters. I will be honest, I can still hear that beep, beep, beep that meant the millionth TikTok was about to be recorded in my house. This extra time was a true gift. I'm guessing the time also allowed all of you to catch up on your sleep, college essays, job applications, work, or of course, schoolwork. As I have grown older, even though I don't want to admit the getting older part, I have learned how valuable time truly is, and that dwelling on the negatives is actually a lot easier than focusing on the positives. Yes, our school year was abruptly disrupted. Yes, we had to transition from being in our own school building every day to online learning. Yes, we did not get to see our friends and extended families for a long period of time. Yes, we did not get to have prom, even though we really tried hard. And yes, we did not get to have graduation in May as planned. But we did get to finish the school year. We did get to see our friends, families, and teachers by using the available technology we have. We did get to have a graduation ceremony, finally, on a Friday night, which is something we have never done before. Yes, there were a lot of things we still didn't get to do, but there are a lot of things we did get to do, even if they were a little different. And most importantly, through it all, we remained a close-knit Dragon family. As you all prepare to begin that next chapter in your lives, take a moment and think about one positive that came out of the past few months. It is these positives that we will forever cherish and look back on, as we will never soon forget the 1920 school year. So, class of 2020, I leave you with this. No matter how far away we are from each other today, literally, tomorrow, or in the days, weeks, years ahead, we will always be a part of each other's lives. I will always cherish the time we had together during your years at PCHS, especially remembering we were able to come back together one last time today. I will miss learning about life from all of you and sharing many laughs along the way. I will miss the daily interactions I shared with so many of you each and every day. Thank you for giving all you had during your time at PCHS. And remember, you will always be a dragon. At this time, I take great pleasure in presenting the class of 2020 as candidates for graduation to our superintendent, Dr. Daniela Owens.
Thank you, Mrs. Huebner. Good evening. Parents, family, faculty, and guests, welcome to Pekin Community High School on a night dedicated to celebrating. Class of 2020, we are no doubt here to celebrate you. But I think all of us are here tonight may agree that we are also happy to be able to celebrate simply being able to honor a high school tradition that we have hoped for months we would be able to host. Can we take a minute to just appreciate the fact that we are here on this amazing night as a group in this beautiful stadium to give our class of 2020 the ceremony they deserve? I have several people to honor tonight, but we absolutely could not be here without the support of a group of people who volunteer their time and dedication to all that Pekin Community High School represents. I would like to introduce the officers and members of the Pekin Community High School Board of Education. This board cares deeply about our school district and works tirelessly on their behalf. I would ask them to stand as I recognize them. Board President, Mr. Ryan Wrigley. Board Vice President, Mr. Quinn Barra. Board Secretary, Mr. Eric Hill. Board members, Mrs. Manda Brown, Mr. Terry Fisher, Mr. Steve Huey, and Mr. Danny Lohman. Thank you for all you do on behalf of PCHS. It is my honor to stand before you on behalf of a group of people who day in and day out devote their time and talent to PCHS and the education of its students. The faculty, staff, and administration work tirelessly in creating an environment where students have endless opportunities to find success. And I cannot be more proud of this group of people than I have been this year as they faced adversity, looked it in the eye, and academically, socially, and emotionally served the students at PCHS without skipping a beat. Would the faculty, staff, and administration of PCHS please stand to be recognized? I would also like to recognize a select group of people who have served our school community and students as they prepare for life after this school. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating 4 individuals who retired at the end of this school year. Personal Assistant Steve Arms, Custodian Gary Broombaugh, CTE Automotive Tech Teacher Mr. Bob Dice, and Central Office Accounting Clerk Ms. Shelley Seidel. To the class of 2020. I've had a lot of time spent this semester reflecting on what this world has dealt you as students, specifically as seniors. And like you, I have seen the flurry of memes, TikToks, Instagram posts, and commercials dedicated to you, what you have lost, or just trying to make you feel better. My ultimate least favorite trend on social media was when people were asked to post their senior pictures, as if seeing senior pictures of us old people would somehow make all of you feel better about what you weren't getting to experience during your fleeting senior year. It's been stressful, sad, and truly a disheartening time for all of you. But in my time of stress, I typically turn to music to settle my soul. And this spring, I kept coming back to one line of one song that I think speaks volumes to you as the class of 2020. In a song entitled "Beautiful Boy" by John Lennon, there is a line that states, "Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans." You will always remember the spring of 2020 and where you were, what you were planning, and what you were looking forward to when the world seemed to stop rotating and everything you knew and or took for granted was changed in what seemed like in an instant. For some of you, this may be the first time that something this earth-shattering has affected your world so personally. But for others, this spring may have been one more thing presented to you to deal with. Unfortunately, as you continue to live your life, you will find that there will be times where your world will get knocked off of its axis. Life will be clicking along, and bam, something will happen that will rock you to your core. For some, it will be a horrible loss, while for others, it will be a devastating failure. But no matter what, the one common factor that most of these situations have is that they are out of your control. And typically, they hit us like a runaway freight train. But once the dust starts to settle and healing starts to take place, the other commonality that these situations can have is that they make us stop, take a breath, and really take a hard look at what is and is not important. As a result, we develop a deeper appreciation for things we may have taken for granted before. Events such as this in our lives help us develop or even change our perspective. One such simple example of this from Pekin High to demonstrate my point took place on the night of February 5th. Does that date ring a bell? No? That's the night I took a call that I needed to get to school as a car had been driven through the school. That night, as I swept up class, and some poor kid yelled from Parkway asking if we were really going to have school the next day, I thought I was fairly stressed. I mean, really, who trains you how to deal with cars running into buildings? As we boarded up the room and decided to have school the next day, put things back together, I could not believe I was having to deal with such a preposterous event. Well, fast forward a little over a month later. By March 18th, I was wishing that all we were dealing with was a little broken glass and a wall that had been driven through. My perspective on what was stressful had changed in the blink of an eye. I don't say these things to minimize events that happen to each and every one of us that cause us undue stress and can be an emotional burden. But what I hope to impart on each of you is that the one thing you can control is your perspective of those events and how you choose to react to them. It really is true. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Do not forget to slow down, take a breath, look around, and appreciate even the smallest of things. The events that make us remember to do that are usually tragic, but the results of doing so are what makes life beautiful. To the class of 2020, on behalf of the faculty, staff, administration, and the Board of Education, let your senior year be a memory that constantly reminds you to appreciate life, while also choosing the lens you are using to capture it. Mrs. Huebner, as Superintendent of Pekin Community High School, I do hereby certify to the Board of Education that these members of the class of 2020 have met all the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Board of Education and therefore qualify as graduates of Pekin Community High School. At this time, I would ask that Assistant Principals Mr. Joel Schmidt and Mrs. Erin Vietti come forward. It is my pleasure to introduce the Pekin Community High School Class of 2020. Will the first row of graduates please stand?
Cole Ethan Wayne Abney. Kyle Lee Acera. Austin Michael Aiden. Shane Ignacio Alcantara. Logan Scott Allen. Lydia Nicole Anderson. Brock Allen Armentrout. Nicole Marie Arrowwood. Ashlyn Suzanne Axley. Chase Howard Bachman. Grayson McAllister Baggett. Ethan James Baker. Alexia Peyton Baker. Morgan Ashley Baker. Allison Catherine Bologna. Marissa Elizabeth Ball. Emily Renee Barnes. Braden Dominic Barra. Sydney Joe Beach. Grace Lene Beasley. Brianna Grace Elizabeth Beckham. Broden Paul Belcher. Jacob William Benner. Campbell Dale Bennett. Michael Brent Bennett. Quincy O'Brien Bennett. Kai Norval Benson.
Taylor Ann Benson. Nicholas Clay Bergerhouse. Donald Dean Blackwell. Shaylin Marie Blaisdell, Ryan Joseph Bonnet, Chloe Jewel Brackney, Riley Kenneth Bradshaw, Bryce Robert Bresnahan, Mackenzie Nicole Briggs, Haley Nicole Bright, Cameron Scott Brooke, Taylor Christine Brooks, Abby Lynn Brown, Alyssa Marie Brown, Christian Allen Brown, Danny Joe Brown, Shaylin Marie Brown, Noah Zachary Burgess, Darcy Marie Bush, Dakota Lynn Bouchard, Shaylin Marie Bouchon, Hannah Rochelle Lou Butler, Colton Tyler Calvin, Mason Ryan Carlson, Michelle Lynn Carpenter, Krista Lee Carrington,
Chelsea Marie Catton, Isaac Ryan Chapman, Kayla Lang Chow, Adriana Diane Chisholm, Ariel Elizabeth Sue Chisholm, Ashley Lauren Christopherson, Bryson Scott Church, Brianna Jeanette Claiborne, Caitlin Elizabeth Clanton, Emma K. Clark, Ryan Edward Collier, Dylan Robert Connell, James Ryan Connell, Dawson Seth Kuhn, Jessica Lynn Cumming, Samantha Lynn Curtis, Blaine Francis Diachi, Willow Rain Dale, Matthew Thomas Dalrymple, William Howard Doherty, Cooper William Davis, Callista Elizabeth Depew, Olivia Ann Deteen, Jaylyn Marie Durst, V. Tuong Do, Alexis Faye Doring,
Jared John Dowell, Austin Scott Downey, Madison Elizabeth Dunn, Tyler Matthew Durr, Dakota Lynn Ewing, Austin Robert Falkingham, Madison Hope Suzanne Falkenberry, Dominic Shaw Ferguson, Logan McKenna Finneran, Vanessa Skylar Renee Fisher, Alexis Nicole Fleming, Caitlin Jacqueline Renee Fleming, Kelsey Michelle Fletcher, Logan Michael Flyer, Kyle Lee Flynn, Hunter Harrison Fouts, Allison Rose Freilich, Erica Lynn Fromm, Alyssa Michelle Fryman, McKenna Ray Gann. Skylee Joe Garrels. Andrew William Geyer. John Paul Geyer. Zachary Ryan Gear. Natalie Rose Gibbs.
Cody William Gibbons. Anna Marie Gold. Brianna Marie Golden. Logan Matthew Golden. Charles Isaac Govia. Carissa Hope Angel Graham. Brady Matthew Grassoff. Carson Hunter Grassoff. Carson Michael Gregory. Brogan Janelle Gresham. Kaylee Sue Gruby. Trisha Marie Hackney. Melina Christine Hall. Dawson Michael Hallahan. Isabella Marie Hardesty. Isabel Danielle Harris. Jada Lynn Hart. Dallas Allen Michael Haynes. Garen Patrick Lee Haynes. Ryan Adam Haynes. Carly June Helms. Tobin James Helms. Abby K. Henderson. Dylan James Hennig. Austin James Henry. Trey Edward Hirschenbach. Tristan Nicole Hess.
Madison Yvonne Hyder. Alexander James Hill. Jason Leander Hill. Sebastian Devontae Hill. Stephen Daniel Hogue. Bradley Michael Holman. Gabriel Eli Holtke. Abigail Ann Olive. Chloe Viola Hopping. Jaden Michael Horner. Cheyenne Michaela Howell. Brandon William Hoyle. Clay Morgan Irby. Hayden Andrew Jackson. Chase Michael Jacobs. Jaden Nicole Jansen Michael. Gavin Lane Johnson. Natalie Carol Johnson. Ronald Allen Johnson. Maxwell Scott Jones. Carly Lynn Josephson. Kiana Lynn Joyner Squires. Caleb James Just. Seth Andrew Casinger. Mackenzie Renee Kirby.
Cassie Lynette Keller. Jason Thomas Kinnemer. Madison Marie Kephart. Taylor Marie Kilgus. Gabriel Stephen Kisner. Joshua Troy Kaiser. Kamari Isaiah Klein. Nathan James Kraus. Nicholas Ryan Krieger. Lindsay Marie Lemire. Brent Allen Lee. Kyle Mason Litzenberg. Logan Wade Lewis. Shane Alexander Lofton. Colin Scott Logston. Courtney Braden Lovin. Trinity Renee Lukey. Devin Marie Lusk. Hunter Augustus Lutz. Nevaeh Paige Mankel. John Francis Mansfield. Summer Lee Marion. Dylan David Marlette.
Dominic Andrew Martin. Jenna Elizabeth Martin. Jenna Marie Martin. Madison K. Martin. Kyle Patrick Lee Martindale. Sydney Lynn Mayberry. Caitlin Jean McCarty. Aaron Bradley McClanahan. Gabrielle Sky McClary. Mia Shaylin McLeod. Chandler Tristan Isaiah McDonald. Mason Levi McGee. Kara Leanne Mercer. Madeline Charlotta Marie Merritt. Chloe May Meskimen. Savannah Amber Mitchell. Patience Marie Moats. Marshall Lane Moffitt. Paige Mackenzie Moon. Christian David Morris. Caitlin Jose Morrison. Jordan Eugene Munsell. Callie Renee Murphy.
Derek Scott Muth. Tyler Michael Nadler. Quentin McKenzie Nance. Redford Montgomery Nance Green. Caden Wesley Charles Nash. Kylie Theana Faye Nash. Alec Bradley Nauman. Cassidy Miranda Nelson. Riley Pepper Nelson. Charles Anthony Nightingale. Braylon Kathleen Oberly. Kennedy Alexis Carly Odell. Damian Anthony Olar. Julia Marie Oltman. Donovan Lee O'Neill. Ty Aaron Ortega. Skylar Braylon Odie. Marissa Lynn Overhaul. Brandon Matthew Palka. Mary Grace Patton. Samantha Helen Peak. Avery Renee Pearson. Matthew Kent Peterson. Caleb Nicholas Petty. Lindsay J. Phillips. Evan Andrew Pajoli. Brendan Wayne Polhemus.
Austin Scott Pomrenke. Chloe Elizabeth Powell. Jordan Elizabeth Pratt. Jason Allen Presley. Madeline Leanne Pritchard. Owen Michael Pritchard. Alexis Brooke Pusey. Kennedy Nicole Rab. Marcelo Antonio Rangel Torres. Jayla May Rasmussen. Jaslyn Marie Retke. Kayla Renee Rigney. Tyler Shane Roan. Becky Ann Robinson. Brianna Lynn Robinson. Gavin Dwayne Roker. Chase Thomas Ropanak. Haley Dawn Rogers. Kirsten Michelle Rogers. Allison Marie Rohde. Damian Allen Rohr. Seth Michael Rohr. Connor James Rowland. Maximus Mike Rosales.
Madison Marie Rudloff. Gabriella Janelle Rushoff. Caitlin Grace D. Ryan. Gabrielle McKenna Salazar. Sydney Ann Sales. Caitlin Jenica Scalf. Allison Nicole Scally. Hannah Helena Rose Schoen. Trista Brianne Schultz. Abigail Reagan Seward. Kiana Paige Schallenberger. Dylan Michael Shanahan. Madison Lee Shago. Carissa Nicole Sheets. Justin Riley Shockley. Matthew Edward Short. Tristan William Short. Dylan Lewis C. Brooke Karen Ann Simpson. Grace Elizabeth Simpson. Pong Sue. Gavin Joseph Skillstead. Caden Allen Slusser. Dalton Ray Smith. Chrissy Lynn Smith.
Noah Michael Stevens. Ashley Caroline Stilling. Logan Zachary Sutton. Tyler James Sutton. Jenna Marie Taphorn. Justin Robert Taphorn. Ryder Blake Tarby. Alexander Lee Thomas Tarter. Chase V. Tassert. Shelby Lynn Taylor. Dirk Aaron Tharp. Avery Lee Theloritis. Raven Lily Timke. Braden Isaac Timmons. Alyssa Jade Torres. Devin Jacob Tovry. Caleb Anthony Tracy. Grace Haley Tran. Parker Jane Elise Troxel. Jet Vilichai Tanyak. Colton Michael Turner. Alexis Danielle Updike. Kimberly Anya Valentine. Jessica Helen Van Dyke. Catalina Mina Vang. Aspen Lynn Velez.
Ethan Scott Vinson. Spencer Scott Vetter. Morgan Elizabeth Von Doren. Remy Lane Wagaman. Seth Christopher Wagle. Julianne Destiny Waldron. Maya Abigail Walker. Brianna K. Ward. Garrett Daniel Watson. Isaac Stanley Watson. Hope Elizabeth Watts. Jaron Allen Christopher Watts. Emily Ann Weatherford. Jacob Andrew Weiss. Jaylee Lynn Warnowski. Logan Charles West. Melody Christine Wheeler. Caleb Adam White. Daniel John Wilder. Ashlyn Marie Elise Williams. Joel Robert Williams. Haley Storm Wilson. Emily Irene Walters. Quinn Matthew Wood. Brianna Marie Woodruff. Chelsea Jane Warlow. Jackson Lee Warlow. Cheyenne Rose Werrick.
Madison Sky Yeeman. Skylar Kalan Young. Riley Abigail Zerhorst.
Will the graduates of the class of 2020 please rise? Graduates, it is my honor to ask you to move your tassels to officially recognize that you are now graduates of Pekin Community High School. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the Pekin Community High School graduated class of 2020. We made it. Congratulations. This concludes the 2020 PCHS Commencement Ceremony. Thank you for coming, and please celebrate and drive safely. We will start the recessional.